Give that to her. What? Oh, back here. He saw something. Okay, is that everything?
They will see.
Think so.
Oh yes, indeed.
Think we got everything.
They all will see.
Alright, back to the shadow quarters. She has a passive that's quite broken. Basically, she gets a ton of free stats. As a passive? Hang on. Once I get through this load screen, I can check her again.
Ready as always.
She has a passive called Cold Trader's Acumen. Where do I see this? Social skill bonuses. The Cold Trader's reputation level, or the Rogue Trader's rep level, grants J additional bonuses. With Jerusian, she gets resistances and Lore Imperium. Explorators, she gets bonus to armor and tech use. Casbalica mission, she gets bonuses to dodge and parry and commerce. Fellowship of the Void, she gets bonuses to critical hit chance and coercion. Imperial Navy, she gets bonuses to cover, efficiency, and persuasion. Okay. That is a lot of stuff.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Alright, so still could go into the area where they're burning everything. But I think we do have some other stuff to do first.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Legion's Resonance. Dock Alpha Row. I think we meet up with Heinrich again soon if I start heading back to the ship. Sicarian Ruststalker. There's Heinrichs. A familiar figure turns to you. Heinrichs von Kalox, interrogator of the Ordo Xenos, bows his head respectfully. Lord Captain. Greetings, interrogator. To what do I owe the pleasure of this latest visit? Only to our mutual duty to humanity. It is that duty that demands that I disturb your peace once more. I was able to contact my mentor and report the tragic events that transpired on Rykad Minoris. I also received some information from my agents regarding the movements and actions of enemies of humanity, including the Xenos that we're assuming were involved in the theft of the star. According to their findings, the threat now hangs over other worlds. This time, yours, Lord Captain. Heinrichs clears his throat and begins in an appointedly official tone. By the order of Lord Inquisitor Xavier Calcazar, whose duty is to stand sentinel over the Cronus Expanse, the rogue trader of House von Valancius is to take on board the agent of the Most Holy Inquisition and provide escort and support in deeds great and small that serve to safeguard the territories of the Imperium against its enemies. This decree is effective immediately upon announcement and remains in effect until decided otherwise by His Excellency Calcazar. Adira's whisper is barely audible. All I got from it is that ridding ourselves of this snitch won't be easy. What exactly caused this need to rejoin my crew? The cause is the activity of humanity's enemies, including the cult of the Final Dawn. In my absence, the situation in the Cronus Expanse has changed. I've received an exhaustive report from my agents. This heresy has taken root in the region where the Von Valancius worlds lie. You probably already know about the fate of the industrial world of Kiava Gamma. If not, then I will share what details I know, but not here. Better to talk on board, where we will not be overheard. A sanctioned psycho with an inquisitorial rosette in my retinue? For free, no less? The other rogue traders will be positively green with envy. Not the most common response to the news that I will be constantly breathing down your neck. You aren't wrong, though. I prefer to repay favors in kind. Assist me by ensuring that my work is unobstructed, and I will assist you in return. I must also deliver this to you. Heinrichs pulls out a sealed letter. The Lord Inquisitor specified that the contents of this envelope are for your eyes only. I would ask you to read it as soon as you have the time. That is everything for the time being. Are you headed to the ship, or do you still have business on footfall? Whatever the case, I can either wait for you on board or accompany you as part of your retinue. So, from my last playthrough, I saw his whole story, but he's my lock-picking person. I can't not have him. He opens all the doors. She's just insanely strong and unique. There's no other navigators, so I don't really want to give her up. I don't know Adira, Kizbella, or Jay's stories, so I kind of want to have them in the group. But honestly, Adira is constantly blowing us up. Adira's stupid powers keep blowing up the group, so that is kind of annoying. All right, let's do this for now. We can swap them out as needed. Remove Muck, you saw his story. Not this Muck. This is a different Muck. Secrets of the Cult. Talk to Heinrichs about the Cult of the Final Dawn. Okay. Regen. Didn't I get a staff earlier and I was like, oh my god, that staff is so good for Heinrichs. Where is it? Emperor's Wrath. I think this was it. Everyone adjacent to the target point suffers damage. Damage dealt by this attack to allies is reduced by the target's resolve. Could try it? It's a book on a stick. Admuk, I remember you asking, probably 3 streams ago, how the Skitari of the Admech differ from Servitors. The difference is basically that they have more fine-tuned augmetics, and that they have an on and off switch for their brains. Their commanding officers can basically run them as remote-controlled drones if they want to, but they also have what passes for free will when they are not being used like that. Oh my god, that reminds me of like the Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics. Understood. Rust Stalkers are Skitari veterans that have had all or most of their limbs blown off. So they're basically like those mech units from XCOM, a torso with mechanical limbs, more machine than man. Okay. Alright. Let's go back here. And we've got 2 quests still in the Shadow Quarters. So I think we know I think we need to go into the quarantine area. I can't remember if I could just walk up and just, like, flex my rogue tradership to get through the door, or if I need to do something else. So we're about to find out. Want to know? Well, I'm about to talk with these guys, so hang on. Are the people trapped in the quarantine zone being provided with aid of any kind? Of course not. I mean, I heard Reverend Hieronymus has been praying for their souls, which sounded more like retribution fell upon them, and rightfully so. That's the most they can hope for. I wish to enter the quarantine zone. No dice. Not gonna happen. We're letting no one in. I'm telling you right now, bribes and intimidation won't work on me, so don't even try. You could file a petition with the Liege if you're so desperate, but my advice to you would be to go on your merry way. The Void's got plenty of nasty, dangerous holes. You don't have to die in this one in particular. You'll go in and die, and that means I'll have more corpses to burn. He pointedly turns away. Okay. The local inhabitants or the Liege of Footfall can provide more information. Okay. So maybe need to go to the Liege now? With Jay in the group, I'm sure that would be great. Or maybe I can go talk to Hieronymus. Let's see. I think he's at the dock. Let's go to the dock. The Skitarii aren't lobotomized and are the main foot soldiers for the Adeptus Mechanicus on their explorator fleets looking for STCs. What's STC? What the heck? Why did my map get wiped? That's weird. Standard template constructs. Okay. Blueprints for tech. Got it. Trying to remember where Hieronymus hangs out. I remember there was like a little ramp somewhere, and then he was upstairs at the top of it. Was he here? Am I in the wrong spot?
Curiosity sings in my veins.
It was in the atrium, not the dock. Okay. Then I misremembered. STCs don't just tell you how to build something, they tell you how to build the factory to build the something. Every little nut and bolt involved. Very advanced blueprints. Oh, nice. He even has a map marker. Okay. Alright, Hieronymus. The Emperor protects. Alright, he doesn't have anything about this. Alright, I guess let's go to the Liege See if the liege will let me in there. Till we meet again. Was a pleasure to raid and hang out. Love the vibe and want more. Fills out the heart button until we meet again. Thank you, Cormac. Appreciate you. Thank you for the raid and for the visit. Okay, so in the Liege's Palace now. Greetings, your lordship. I don't mean to hurry you, but I do hope our deal is still in place. The station continues to experience increasingly severe shortages of provisions. The liege stares at Heinrich slowly, very slowly. Vladimir nods to him. Von Kalox? Heinrich responds with an equally reserved nod. Good day, liege. I'm accompanying the rogue trader. Please pay no mind to my presence. Your request is difficult to fathom, and even more so to honor, Master Von Kalox, but I'm glad to hear there aren't other reasons for this visit, unlike your two previous ones. Upon noticing Kibala, Vladimir quickly assumes a bored expression. Carefully, without making any sudden movements, he wipes his glasses and, as if absent-mindedly, puts a hand under the table. Vladimir notices Jay. Yo, I just brought all his worst enemies. Vladimir notices Jay standing behind you, and you see his jaw tightening with tension. And what are you doing here? Vladimir, you must have thought you were the only one on Footfall who knew how to make friends. Jay shrugs and smirks condescendingly. Told you I'd find a better deal. Ignoring Jay, Vladimir pointedly addresses you. I'm sure your lordship had reason for getting mixed up with a small fry like her. Perhaps you were amused by her false promises of quick profit or some more intimate aspects of such relationships. Oh no, I'm not like that with her. In any case, that's none of my business. Just remember that here on Footfall, the true goods deal worthy of your attention can only come from me. Jay has joined my retinue to atone for her misdeeds before the Emperor. Glory to the exalted one who cares for us all. Dude, I thought she would be kind of insulted by that, but she was just like, yep, that's me. Jay makes the sign of the Aquila over her chest with an uncharacteristically serious expression. Vladimir grimaces in vexation. In my experience, people like her tend to turn a new leaf only when the door of the airlock shuts behind them and not a moment sooner. Kibala gives him a thin smile. You are far more interesting than you seem at first glance, liege. Vladimir responds with a vague smile of his own. Yes, I am the most amusing man on this station, my lady. What is happening in the shadow quarters? Why is there a quarantine? Oh, that. He grimaces. Who knows? It could be an actual epidemic, or perhaps the two families that started it all just came down with food poisoning at the same time. We're on a space station. The best solution here is to isolate the area and wait for the problem to resolve itself. Dogmatic is you're right, the deaths of the people in the quarantine zone are a necessary price to pay. But I want to go in there. There's more content in there. I wish to enter the quarantine zone. Out of the question. You'd be putting both yourself and the station at risk. Coercion. I believe I said I wish to enter the quarantine zone. You would dare defy the will of a rogue traitor? Coercion succeeded. He clenches his teeth and remains silent for a moment. Your impudence could spell the end for you and the entire station. But as you wish. I'll have my people clear a small passage for you. It will take time, mind you. He scoffs. The place has been mined properly. It will take days if not more, but you will get your way in. I did what you could not. I found and neutralized the Anver's agitator-in-chief. That is truly an outstanding accomplishment, your lordship. Footfall can rest easy now, at least until the next Mad Hoodlum makes himself known. 161 XP. A man who introduced himself as a servant of House Corda asked to have a word with me. And then, imagine the odds, someone blew his brains out. Vladimir doesn't look surprised. The Anvers again, I presume. Those anarchical degenerates don't care whom they shoot, be it my servants, yours, or those in the employ of House Corda. I suspect that this agent wished to negotiate a deal that would have you refrain from hindering Incendia Corda's efforts to strangle us with the threat of hunger and demand our obedience. If so, I don't believe I will be mourning the man's passing for very long. I am beginning to resent how frequently the people I converse with on this station end up dead. That is indeed lamentable, but these are the times we live in, and this is Footfall. Its denizens don't always look for a reason to spill blood. Other matters. Goodbye. I hiccuped while talking. Excuse me. Alright. So now, we can head toward the quarantine. Well, he said give me a few days. I don't know if it'll be available immediately, but we'll see. Alright, Shadow Quarters. The original STC constructs were like ChatGPT. You put in what you wanted and what materials are on the planet that you're on, and it will figure out how to build the thing that you want to have. This was obviously before the AI uprising at Old Night, but there are scattered specks of knowledge, and some of the STC AIs were on humanity's side and others against it. So they were basically in the most neutral camp from what little info there was. Okay. Alright, so now go back over here to the quarantine thing and see what they say. New teaser. What? Hang on. What the hell is that? Chat, what the hell is this? Alright. One thought is teeth, like a really weird clenched jaw. Another thought is like a rose. I'm thinking it's like a mouth. Shield? Yeah, it could be a shield. Short blades? I don't think it's short blades. Apparently the Chinese social media host has additional hints. Guild Ors to Chinese social media. I don't know what website it's on. Ranger spec with shield would be cool, yeah.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
It's you again. An order came down in regard to your esteemed self or to clear out a passage to let you through. So here we are, clearing and disarming the mines. I don't know why you're in such a rush to bite it, but it's none of my business. You just wait, we'll make a way in for you sooner or later. Okay, so it's gonna take a while. Alright. So I think now we visit some of the other planets in this system. Doc. I just checked how much Jay's stats scale. She could apparently get up to 70% armor from that passive, which is equivalent to endgame heavy armor. Nice.
What lies beyond?
New Elite Images out? Yeah, we were talking about it, trying to figure out what it is. Lord Captain, the inspection of the ship's systems is complete. The tech priests are reporting the machine spirits are calm and satisfied. Everything is ready for travel onward, except there is an issue you must be made aware of. Cassia makes a quick, nervous gesture, adjusting the adornment over her third eye. I've been studying the records left by the vessel's previous navigator. I wanted to double-check the route to Dargonis and discovered that it does not match the one recorded in the Atlas. It is more than a minor warp fluctuation. The route has been wiped out. It can no longer be used for traveling. To make matters worse, I started checking the paths from the Atlas one after another and saw the same thing everywhere. The warp is roiling with an ominous storm, bursting with vivid and screaming colors. It will not hinder our movement, but all previous knowledge is now utterly useless. Argenta angrily chops the air with the side of her palm. Warp storms are our enemies just like heretics and daemons. It is a shame they can't be dispersed with a flamer or bolter. Vigdis, now we can be certain that problems with the astropathic communication in the Cronus Expanse are no coincidence. There is a warp disturbance in your way, Lord Captain. It is swallowing messages and disrupting familiar routes. This means you need to locate the key worlds of the Von Valancius Protectorate as soon as possible. I am talking about Janus, Dargonus, and Kiavagama. Charting new routes so that they can be reached and restoring control will be necessary next step. Tell me about Janus. The surface of Janus was altered extensively so that the planet could be designated an agri-world. It is a powerful food base capable of supplying the burgeoning protectorate and exporting provisions to the outer worlds at the same time. Janus owes much of its prosperity to the governor House of Yat. Under its leadership, the world has grown more prosperous year after year, securing shipments and taxes while keeping the workforce tightly controlled. What is Kiavagama? Industrial world Kiavagama is being managed by the governor House of Gaprak and supplies your protectorate with rare mineral resources. Additionally, the planet features an Adeptus Mechanicus Manufactorum that processes materials and prepares them for shipment. I testify that Kiavagama is a world marked by the Omnisci's patronage. By his grace, the manufactorums of the colony are inhabited by committed and industrious machine spirits. Heinrichs coughs quietly. Mistress Tolman neglected to mention that the Kiavagama Manufactorum also supplies heavy machinery from forage harvesters to vessel systems and components. Abelard turns his hard eyes on Heinrichs. You display commendable knowledge of our world's manufacturing capability, Von Kalox. Pleased to be of service. What do I need to know about Dargonus? Dargonus is the heart and soul of your protectorate. It is where the main administrative resources and storage facilities are, and so is the Von Valancius Palace. If you'd like to know, this is where you will publicly accept the title of Rogue Trader. Dargonus is a major administrative hub that runs the cargo fleet and keeps track of finances. Very well, my course is clear. Do my officers have any other issues that require immediate attention? That is all, Lord Captain. The vessel and crew await your instructions and are ready to depart footfall immediately should you so desire. Okay. Do I need to talk to anybody right now? Hang on. Let's see. Hide completed quest. Search for the heretics den in the shadow quarters. Cold trader see Johnny is ready to convince. Oh, captain enlisted Jason Tree on the bridge. Alright, so talk to Jay on the bridge. Talk to Von Kalox on the bridge. Alright. Wizard hat. Oh, gonna make me dust off the wizard hat, huh? Alright. Let's see. Where is Jay and Von Kalox? There's Heinrichs. Heinrichs looks at you intently, his head tilted. You wanted to discuss the nature of your mission.
Yes, but not here. I wouldn't want our conversation to be gossip fodder on the bridge and in the officers' mess.
I've been kidnapped. Heinrichs nods slightly. Thank you for finding an opportunity to talk. I trust now would be a good time to explain the reason for my return aboard your ship. I welcome the chance to assist the Inquisition with its inquiries, Von Kalox. Lord Captain, your enthusiasm is commendable. The interrogator smiles, but his eyes remain cold. To business, then. The cults of the Final Dawn. The madmen preach their heretical doctrine among the denizens of the Cronus Expanse and instigate crimes against the throne and humanity. One such crime took place in your protectorate. The Lord Inquisitor considered it necessary to have one of his acolytes accompany the rogue trader on the voyage into the corrupted region. I also need to meet with one of my observers on the capital world of your domain. Lore Imperium. Why would Ordo Xenos agents instigate a chaos cult? You are well versed in how the Inquisition is organized, Mukluk. Yes, initially our arrival in the Cronus Expanse was dictated by the need to fight Xenos, but there is more. The cult is tangentially related to my main specialization. Perhaps I will be able to reveal the full truth someday, but right now I ask you to display humility and patience. The Lord Inquisitor mentioned in his letter he is willing to show lenience toward my actions that would